The giggle is what I can't forget. Not the sound of my pregnant wife tumbling down 14 hardwood stairs. Not her scream cut short when her head hit the landing. Not even the wet snap that meant something inside her had broken. It was my sister's giggle, soft, satisfied, like a child who'd finally won a game. Oops. That's what Madison said as my wife Elena lay crumpled at the bottom of the staircase, blood pooling beneath her head, her hands clutched around her 8-month pregnant belly. Oops. Like she'd spilled milk instead of potentially killing my family. My name is Marcus Thompson, and I'm about to tell you how one word destroyed my entire family. But first, you need to understand why I wasn't there when it happened. Why I'd trusted the wrong people. Why the nanny cam I'd hidden in the hallway smoke detector would become the most important purchase of my life. 6 months earlier, Elena and I had announced her pregnancy at Sunday dinner. My parents' dining room, all mahogany and judgment, fell silent. You could hear the grandfather clock ticking as my mother set down her wine glass with deliberate precision. "How unexpected," she said, that tight smile stretching across her face like a wound. We'd been married for 3 years. We both had good jobs, Elena as a pediatric nurse, me as a software engineer. We'd bought a house, saved money, done everything right. But in my family's eyes, we'd committed an unforgivable sin. We'd succeeded without them. Madison, my younger sister, had been the family favorite since birth. While I studied, she partied. While I worked, she spent. At 28, she still lived at home, still used Dad's credit cards, still believed the world owed her everything because she was pretty. A baby? Madison's voice dripped poison sweetened with fake concern. But Elena's career was going so well. Seems selfish to throw it all away for a parasite. Madison. I snapped. What? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. You guys barely have time for us as it is. Now you'll disappear completely into your little perfect family bubble. Mom touched Madison's hand. She has a point, Marcus. Family should come first. Your actual family. That's when I should have seen it. The way they looked at Elena's still flat stomach with disgust. The way Madison's fingers tightened on her steak knife. The way my father wouldn't meet my eyes. But I was too happy to notice the storm building. The incident started small. Madison would accidentally bump into Elena at family gatherings. Mom would serve foods Elena couldn't eat while pregnant, then act offended when she politely declined. Dad started making comments about how expensive children were, how they ruined marriages, destroyed women's bodies. Elena handled it with grace. She always did. That's what made them hate her more. She wouldn't break, wouldn't fight back, wouldn't give them the reaction they craved. Maybe we should skip Sunday dinners for a while, she suggested one night, rubbing her growing belly. Just until after the baby comes. No. I was stubborn, stupid. They're my family. They'll come around once they meet their grandchild. She touched my face with such sadness. Some people don't want to come around, Marcus. Some people just want to watch things burn. I should have listened. God, I should have listened. The weekend it happened, I was in Chicago for a work conference. Elena was 8 months along, uncomfortable but glowing. Madison had called that morning, voice dripping with fake sweetness. I feel horrible about how I've acted, she said. Let me come over and help Elena while you're gone. Sister bonding time. I'll cook, clean, whatever she needs. I hesitated. Elena squeezed my hand, shook her head. But Madison pushed. Please, Marcus. I want to be a good aunt. I bought gifts for the baby. Mom's coming too. We want to have a little shower, just family. Against Elena's protests, I agreed. My flight was in 2 hours. What could go wrong in one weekend? Everything. Everything could go wrong. I was in a conference room learning about cloud architecture when my phone exploded with calls. Elena's mother screaming. The hospital asking for consent. My parents oddly calm, saying there'd been an incident. I don't remember the flight home. I remember running through the hospital corridors, following signs to trauma, my chest tight with terror. I remember finding Elena's room and stopping dead in the doorway. Machines. So many machines. Tubes down her throat, IVs in both arms, monitors beeping erratically. Her beautiful face swollen beyond recognition. Purple bruises blooming across her skin like toxic flowers. Mr. Thompson? A doctor appeared beside me. Your wife suffered severe trauma. Fractured skull, internal bleeding, broken ribs. We had to perform an emergency C-section. The baby. Is she alive? My voice didn't sound human. Your daughter is in the NICU. 29 weeks is early but viable. She's fighting. Daughter. We had a daughter. Elena and I had a daughter who might grow up without her mother because I'd trusted the wrong people. My parents arrived then, Madison trailing behind. Mom dabbed at dry eyes with a tissue. Such a tragedy, she murmured. That top step has always been slippery. We tried to warn her about wearing socks on hardwood. She fell? I turned on them, something wild rising in my chest. Elena's the most careful person I know. She held the railing going up and down every single step. How did she fall? Madison shrugged, examining her manicure. Pregnancy makes people clumsy. She was carrying laundry. Just lost her balance. Where were you? Getting towels from the linen closet. I heard the tumble and came running. That giggle threatened to escape again. I saw her swallow it. So scary. And you, Mom? In the kitchen making tea. By the time we got to her, she shuddered delicately. All that blood. Their story was practiced perfect. Too perfect. But I had bigger concerns. Elena needed surgery. Our daughter needed to survive. The questions could wait. They couldn't wait long. Elena survived the first surgery, then the second. She remained in a coma while our daughter, tiny, fierce Sophia, fought for each breath in her incubator. I lived at the hospital, sleeping in chairs, washing in public restrooms, existing on coffee and terror. Madison visited once, bringing flowers that reeked of funeral homes. How's our little miracle? She cooed at Sophia's incubator. So small. So fragile. Anything could happen to something that weak. Get out. Marcus, I'm trying to be supportive. Get out. She left, but not before whispering. This is what happens when people reach above their station. The fall is always hardest. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about her words. The fall. Like she'd orchestrated it. I went home for the first time in a week, just to shower and grab clothes. The house felt wrong, too quiet, too empty. I climbed the stairs slowly, studying each step. No water. No loose boards. Nothing slippery. At the top, I stopped. Something dark stained the carpet runner. Blood, cleaned but not quite erased. I knelt, touching the spot, and noticed something else. A scuff mark on the wall. Fresh. Like someone had kicked it, or been pushed into it. My hands shook as I pulled out my phone, accessing the home security app I'd installed months ago. Elena didn't know about all the cameras. I'd been paranoid after a break-in down the street. The obvious ones were in the living room and kitchen. But I'd hidden others, including one in the hallway smoke detector. I scrolled back to Saturday, 2:47 p.m. There was Elena, 8 months pregnant, carefully navigating the stairs with a laundry basket. She held the railing, just as I knew she would. Behind her, Madison appeared from the guest room. Elena reached the top step. Madison said something. Elena turned, confused. Then Madison's hands shot out. Hard. Deliberate. Elena's eyes widened as she fell backward. The basket flew. Her hands reached for anything, finding nothing. She tumbled down, 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 her body hitting each step with sickening thuds. And Madison? She stood at the top, watching. Waiting. Only when Elena stopped moving did she saunter down, careful not to slip in the blood. She nudged Elena with her foot. Giggled. Oops. Then, calm as Sunday morning, she walked to the linen closet and pulled out towels. Arranged them around Elena's head. Went to get my mother. The performance after that was Oscar-worthy. Madison screaming for help. Mom calling 911. Both of them crying, comforting each other, playing the traumatized witnesses. I threw up in the kitchen sink. Then I called the police. The arrest happened at another Sunday dinner. I insisted on being there, told my parents I needed family support. They believed me because they'd always believed their own lies. We were halfway through Mom's pot roast when the doorbell rang. I'll get it, I said. 2 detectives and 4 uniformed officers stood on the porch. Madison Thompson? Detective Williams held up her badge. You're under arrest for attempted murder and assault on an unborn child. The dining room erupted. Madison screaming denials. Mom sobbing about mistakes. Dad threatening to call lawyers. There's video, I said quietly. She pushed my pregnant wife down the stairs. It's all on video. Madison's face went white. You recorded me? In my own home. My house. My cameras. My family you tried to murder. As they cuffed her, she started laughing. Hysterical, unhinged. She was ruining everything. You were supposed to choose us. Blood is thicker than water. You're right, I said. And you spilled my wife's blood. My daughter's blood. That's thicker than whatever poison runs through your veins. The trial was swift. The video was damning. Madison got 15 years, eligible for parole in 7. My parents hired the best lawyers, mortgaging their house, draining their retirement. It didn't matter. You can't argue with video. They disowned me, of course. Called me a traitor for choosing that woman over family. I changed my locks and never looked back. Elena woke up 3 weeks after the attack. The first word she whispered was Sophia. She's perfect, I told her, showing her pictures of our daughter. Tiny but perfect. Just like her mom. She remembered everything. The push. The fall. The fear that our baby would die because of Madison's jealousy. I knew, she whispered. At the top of the stairs, I knew she was going to do something. Her eyes, there was nothing human in them. The recovery was long. Physical therapy. Counseling. Learning to trust again. But Elena is the strongest person I know. She survived. We survived. Sophia came home after 2 months in the NICU. She's 3 now, healthy and wild and perfect. She has Elena's eyes and my stubbornness and absolutely no relationship with my side of the family. Sometimes I get letters from prison. Madison swears it was an accident, that the video was misinterpreted, that I'm destroying the family. I throw them away unopened now. My mother sends birthday cards to Sophia with passive-aggressive messages. Hope you're happy with the family you chose over the one God gave you. Those go in the trash too. But late at night, when Sophia's asleep and Elena's beside me, I sometimes think about that giggle. That satisfied sound of someone who thought they'd won. Madison was right about one thing. I did choose. I chose my wife, my daughter, my future over the toxic past that would have destroyed us all. And when Sophia asks about Daddy's family someday, I'll tell her the truth. Sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who share your blood. Sometimes family isn't about DNA. It's about who shows up, who stays, who loves you without conditions or jealousy or rage. Sometimes you have to cut the poison out to save the patient, even if the poison calls itself family.